In this video, let's talk about the jobs that has the fastest peer pathways in Nova Scotia. I'm actually thrilled to discuss this with you guys. Hello everyone, this is Rice and this is Quest Canada. Early childhood educators and continuing care assistants professions are two of the most in-demand professions in Nova Scotia. As a matter of fact, these jobs are so in demand and low supply that the government of Nova Scotia discussed with different institutions in Nova Scotia, institutions meaning schools and colleges in Nova Scotia, asking them how can we increase the supply of workers of ECE and CCA. And therefore, the Nova Scotia government and the different institutions came up with a program wherein the ECE, the CCA, and other the pharmacy technology and other positions are of in demand. These positions are specifically identified under the international graduate stream, which is a specified peer pathway if you finished ECE or CCA in Nova Scotia. The international graduate stream says that you should have a job offer, either or of these two jobs. You should have finished at least 50% of your education in Nova Scotia. You should have your CLB, and you should be able to prove financial stability to sustain yourself, and you should have a certification to practice in Nova Scotia. Oxford created these programs in conjunction with the province of Nova Scotia, and therefore the PR pathway was created. This therefore lessens your wait time, lessens your process time for PR, and lessens the amount of stress and definitely the finances that you have to allocate when you study, because the programs are only for 1 year. I truly believe that the opportunities that this school offers is something that is beneficial to international students, having a guaranteed job placement for the students, and they have 97% success rate when it comes to their peer pathways, and you will find this in their website. This really is not a bad choice. Could you imagine having finished your program and really having a specified peer pathway that is designed on the program that you have just finished? It revolves around the program that you have just finished. If you believe that you need help with the admission, there is an interview process with Oxford before you are provided with the offer letter. We can also train you with that. If you need help at all in any process of the admission at Oxford, we can certainly help you guys. Connect with us. That's admin@questcanadaca.com, or better yet, really visit our website and fill out the free eligibility assessment form. The second kind of industry or jobs with one of the easiest, I have to say, peer pathways in Nova Scotia or in the Atlantic as a whole is the construction pilot program, wherein the Nova Scotia government has identified more than 20 NOCs or job titles that are eligible under this program. I have actually published a very detailed video about the construction pilot program or critical construction pilot program, which is this video. If you need more information about it, guys, I urge you to please watch that. But on a snapshot, this pilot program is very lenient because it does not require that you should have an experience inside Canada. You should have 1 year of experience anywhere in the world and you can be eligible. The most critical part is a job offer in Nova Scotia under one of these over 20 job titles or NOCs. The CLB is not so high. It's only CLB 5 and CLB 4 depending on your tier. You should show a proof of funds, of course, that you're able to sustain yourself. But when it comes to education, you do not have to have finished your education anywhere in Canada, or definitely not in Nova Scotia. You have to have an equivalency of high school. Even then, if you did not finish high school and you are not able to show equivalency of high school, you can show a certificate, a training program related to your job offer, and this certificate will be accepted by the Nova Scotia government. And that's how lenient this program is. Now, you do not have to be living in Nova Scotia. There are many factors here that makes this construction pilot program one of the easiest PR pathways in Nova Scotia. Now, your second question for sure is, how do I find a job in the construction industry in Nova Scotia? And we have got the questjobs.online portal. If you are a welder, type in there welder Nova Scotia and then hit the search button. If you are a carpenter, type in there carpenter Nova Scotia and then hit the search button and just take on the various job titles and search those job titles and hit the search button. And from those job titles, you will receive the various job indexes in the construction industry in Nova Scotia. Now, this pathway may be not too fast, because at the end of the day, you have to apply, you have to be interviewed, the company will have to really decide on who to hire, and then there's the work permit or the PR permit pathway or processing period. It will take time, but it is not expensive. It's one of the cheapest way for you to move to Canada, and therefore, if you don't necessarily have the means or the finances to move to Canada via study permit, this PR pathway, if you are in the construction industry, is definitely something that you should look at. Finances should never stop you from reaching your goals. Finances should be a challenge to you, but certainly not a stopping point for you to say, I give up. No way. You should not. Check out the construction pilot program in Nova Scotia. The third PR pathway is again related in healthcare. This PR pathway is not necessarily fast, and it's not necessarily easy per se, but the thing is, it's one of the cheapest ways to move to Canada, and this is the expedited RN pathway, wherein internationally educated nurses from specific countries can move to Canada or to Nova Scotia with a job offer. Now, I will have to give you a little bit of a background, because being a registered nurse in Canada as a whole is really a tough hurdle. It's exams upon certifications, upon board exams that you will have to take, and it's not easy. It's very expensive. If you are an internationally educated nurse and you do not have any licensing in Canada or in Nova Scotia, then you cannot practice here. If you cannot practice here, then no company will hire you. But the RN expedited pathway essentially makes the entire process easier to the internationally educated nurse. And here's how that happens. If you are licensed in the Philippines, India, Nigeria, USA, UK, Australia, or New Zealand, and you are a licensed nurse and you are a licensed LPN in those countries, then you can be eligible under the expedited pathway in Nova Scotia. What happens is, the first step really is to apply to be a licensed practitioner in Nova Scotia. This is through this portal. There, the first step is to register yourself, and then the government will come back to you for some documentations. You have to complete the documentations. Once the documentations are all complete, and the government of Nova Scotia essentially deems you as a person who can practice in Nova Scotia, then you are provided with an initial license to practice essentially. And then with this license, you can then apply to different companies or healthcare companies, clinics, hospitals in Nova Scotia. Have this license issued by the government as your bridge to be provided with a job offer. The moment you are provided with a job offer, that is the time that you can apply formally for a PR or for your permanent residency, thus allowing you to work in Nova Scotia. If you want to look for a job, again guys, just hit search button at questjobs.online, and we certainly hope that we are able to bridge the gap of job offer and yourself and moving to Canada. I hope that we bridge that gap and we can be of help to your goals in life. As a reminder, do not forget to subscribe to our job list newsletter. The job list essentially is we accumulate the jobs that are open or are eligible to sponsor work permit and PR pathways. We put these jobs together in different industries and we send this newsletter to our subscribers on a weekly basis. On questjobs.online, there is a pop-out there. Please subscribe to our newsletter, or in our questcanadaca.com, there's a pop-out there. Please subscribe to our newsletter. In the description box, we also have that pop-up. And please subscribe to our newsletter to have a copy of this newsletter, Jobs, on a weekly basis.